Thirsty for Knowledge Thursdays, the weekly webinar series presented by the Aries Foundation for Financial Education, Inc. And this week we are doing taking the stress out of vacation, or what we have been talking about, which is saving up for taking your dream vacation. You want to get a handle on what that vacation is going to look like. Not just where do you want to go. Like Craig said, he wants to go to England, but he wants to spend the time traveling around the country. He doesn't want to just hang out in London with all the cool people. He wants to go see all the other people and go all over the places. So putting that together, and we'll talk about that with the itinerary in coming up, but the idea is to sort of have that vision. What do you want it to look like? And then how you're going to sort of build it from there. One of the things we obviously, somebody in the audience have brought up the whole idea of the African safari. Well, African safaris, the price range on African safaris vary depending on the country you go to, the time of the year you go, and what you're trying to do. So there's different packages and tours that are available, and ways to be thinking about that in terms of, when you want to travel, how you want to travel, where do you want to go. If you're going to be staying in nothing but, first class hotels and eating out all the time, obviously you're dealing with a different budget than maybe if you're renting an apartment and just traveling. You really do, just like any other part of your life, have to get a handle on what is this going to cost me, right? What am I going to be paying for, and what's that going to look like so that I can reasonably save for this? Because it's just like saving for anything else. That's a conversation that we have with everyone, is about, I'm saving for something. Well, okay, what are you spending right now? And how are you going to alter that or change it so that you can start saving? Once you start putting that together, then you can start to figure out, okay, here's how much I'm going to need. So you've put together the dream itinerary. This is like, and I'm picking on Craig with his traveling to England. He's going to go London, and he's going to go further north, and maybe he goes even further north from there, goes to Liverpool or Manchester, and then he wants to get up to Edinburgh, up to Scotland for at least a day or two. So he's got these places where he's got to go and stay. He's got to build that itinerary out. But all of that is a cost. All of that is something that he's got to be taking into consideration, saving for. And if he's doing that, then, how is he going to maybe hedge a little bit?
Experience has got to be tailored around what you want that experience to be.
Yep,
some people may be happy about backpacking, some people want first class. It all depends on what you want for you.
The pre-vacation checklist, this gets more specific in terms of some things. Like the first one is about, securing the home. Before you go anywhere, right, you should make sure that everything is locked up and closed, like all the doors, all the windows, access into the garage, if you can get into the house type of thing. Today's world with Ring and all the security systems, it's a good idea to have that in place. But one of the things with that is, making sure that if you've got neighbors that you can rely on or talk to, let them know. They can look in on it, that they can check on it, maybe bring your mail in or grab your mail type of thing. If you're going to do the holiday road, I joke about this all the time, the National Lampoon, take the family out onto the road. Like, you got to make sure the car's been all updated, everything's been checked, you're going to be taken off, make sure that you've got the AAA and anything else that's backed up as far as dealing with it, because that's a big part of it. One of the things, especially with, kids in terms of social media, but while you're on vacation, don't post anything. Countries that are still closed or not allowing people to come in. But, states vary, places vary. If you're going to travel, because I know they're pulling the lid off and everybody wants to get away, and we talked about in the Cape. Like if you tried to book on the Cape, you can't book on the Cape right now. The Cape, you're not getting a rental on the Cape because they're booked. They're just, solidly packed. But places, they still have some limitations. Do you have to wear a mask? Do you not wear a mask? Do you have to be vaccinated? Do you not have to be vaccinated? These are all, concerns, questions, things to be considering as you're putting that plan together. Hopefully if it's a year or two, like Craig talked about down the road, that doesn't come as a factor.
So even if you decide not to go, you can still convert it back to US dollars.
But you got to pay for it. So you're going to pay a commission to exchange it, and then you're going to pay an exchange, commission to get out.
Okay.
So the whole concept there is, who's charging, look for a lower price, somebody that's more of a discount shop that's going to do that, than doing it at an airport or someplace, because they're going to jack you through the roof in terms of charging you for the exchange rate. Preparing for change, and this is sort of what Craig was talking about, hey, well, okay, I know the price for the flight today is $1,000. In 3 years, what's that going to be? $1,200? $1,400? What's that price change going to be as I'm preparing for that? Sort of building that let's call it the auxiliary fund along with it. So like Craig mentioned, hey, maybe that vacation is my plan is $7,000. That's what I want to spend. Should I build in another 10 to 15% over that to cover anything that comes up as additional cost, or they jack the price, or I tried to go someplace and now it cost me, an extra $100 to do that tour that wasn't there before, type of thing. You've got to be saving for it. And we talked about this, and we always come back to the budget, we always come back to the spending, but are you willing to make some of those changes in your current lifestyle that's going to allow you to put the money away, right? And whether that's cutting back on what you're doing for dining out. You are going to be paying for this for a long period of time. And even though, as Craig said, it's all about experience, that experience will take away from everything else that you want to do in your life and in your financial goals for a long period of time.
Have questions? Ask us. We can help with that. You can email Craig at crichardson@ariesfoundation.org, or you can visit the website to learn more about what we do and how we might be able to help you. www.ariesfoundation.org. Want to see more of this recording? Go to www.ariesfoundation.org/events. If you know an organization or community support group that could benefit from one of our workshops, reach out to Tom T. Alessi at ariesfoundation.org. Our mission is trying to help everyone have a better relationship with their money.